Get it together now for Greenstego's Mod Academy. It's time for the Mod Academy. Stego?
All right, y'all. Last time we had a rundown on the Warmind cells. Today we're going to focus on another suite of mods that fit into those combat mod slots in your armor sets, the Charged with Light mods. So these Charged with Light mods were first introduced in Season of Dawn. When we rescued Saint 14 from the Infinite Forest. And they updated them with another suite of mods in Season of Arrivals. And between those two and some other crossover mods where you can like get Charged with Light with Warmind cells, it's a very powerful build right now. And if you've been thinking about experimenting with it, but you've been confused about how it all works, let's dive in. So the green, if you see a mod that has like a green emblem on it, a green symbol, then that means that that is something that builds Charged with Light buffs. And if you've been playing with these at all, then you'll see you get this buff that says Charged with Light, and that doesn't by itself mean or do anything. You have to have another mod that tells your character, like, what does being Charged with Light actually do, and those mods are colored yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So we've got, like, if you're just thinking about experimenting with Charged with Light, one of my go-tos is using Taking Charge, where picking up an Orb of Power makes you Charged with Light. And then the High Energy Fire mod, where you get a bonus to weapon damage when you're Charged with Light. And anytime you defeat a combatant, you lose a stack of Charged with Light. So that was... anytime I'm like not really like sure what kind of like build I want to go into, but I don't want to think about it too hard, that's the build that I go with. And then there are a couple other mods that you can splice into it, but these mods are nice because they're actually they're not affiliated with any element, so you can put them into any armor that you like. Just Taking Charge and High Energy Fire can slot into any armor, whether it's Arc, Solar, or Void.
Full disclosure, that's pretty much all I do.
There are some other really nice ones.
The Taking Charge and the High Fire one on one of my characters. So
they're nice.
Quick question for you, Greenstego. And you may or may not know the answer to this, but if you're sporting that green Taking Charge mod and your super is full and you run over an Orb of Power, does it build?
Yes.
Do you become Charged with Light at that point?
You pick up that Orb of Power. It does not give you any super energy.
Well, no, because if it's full.
Yeah, you'll know that from like doing raids, and if you rally to the flag, but then someone makes an orb, you can instantly get Charged with Light.
Right. Okay. So it still works even though you're full.
Also, contrarily, if you're doing some kind of raid activity where, say, you want to have a bunch of people just, say, 3 warlocks who are standing in the same area and casting their Ward of Dawn super.
Well of Radiance.
You have that chart. Well of Radiance, yes. Well of Radiance. And you have your super ready to go, but you're killing like goblins or something. And that reduces your Charged with Light, and then you can basically waste some orbs of power.
Gotcha.
So,
that's important to note. Yeah, because situationally, it could be a negative, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. That answers my question and then some. Thank you.
So if you're trying to stockpile orbs of power and you are holding onto your super at the same time, then taking charge may not be the one for you. But there's a whole bunch of different ones.
Mm-hmm.
And long-time listeners will know that we've briefly touched on how before Armor Update 2.5, they had some like weapon affiliations with the elements. Like Auto Rifle Reloader was a solar mod. And these kind of relationships and connections kind of live on in these Charged with Light mods, as well as with the Vault of Glass raid mods, which I personally don't have any of, but there's some similar overlap there, which I think is pretty nice and pretty interesting. But there's like a couple themes there that is nice and you should be aware of. And another one of the nice things about these Charged with Light mods is there's like a little bit of everything. So if you don't have, like, let's say you were interested in that Warmind Cell build that we were talking about last time, but you didn't have a full suite of solar armor. Your armor is kind of like all over the place. Charged with Light is built right for you because there's a little bit of everything for each of these categories.
Mm-hmm.
The solar ones can increase the number of charges that you can have. So normally you can only pick up to 2 charges of Charged with Light. But if you have the solar mod either charged up or supercharged, then you can increase those stacks that you're able to hold up to a maximum of 5. And there's a void one, stacks on stacks, which is a favorite of mine. Anytime you would gain a stack of Charged with Light, you gain an extra one. And then there's something kind of tricky, kind of weird with all the Arc ones. This is like unique to the Arc brand of these, but they do this like chaining thing together where if you have multiple of the Arc mods for Charged with Light, they have a secondary effect that gets enabled. And so they like to chain together.
I'm not sure I understand that. Do you have an example of that?
Yes. So there's a mod, Powerful Friends. It's an Arc mod. When you become Charged with Light, nearby allies also become Charged with Light.
Okay.
And so that's its primary perk. But if you have another Arc Charged with Light mod, then it adds a secondary benefit to that. And for this one, it's plus 20 mobility. Yes, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, it's great. And so we don't really have time to go into all of those, but that's something that you can see in it. I got an image of it in the next slide where it shows the secondary perk grayed out.
The plus 20 mobility, right?
The plus 20 mobility.
There it is.
There it is. So you can see this person does not have another Arc mod equipped, but if they did, then that plus 20 mobility would be colored in, and that would enable the other secondary perk. And some of those secondary perks are very strong, very nice. Something like increasing the damage resistance that you have while sprinting, greatly increasing handling speed of shotguns and fusion rifles, granting a chance to drop special ammo for your allies. Like some of them are really nice.
I gotta believe there's a low percentage of the player base that takes advantage of these things.
Yeah. And with these arc mods, like specifically Powerful Friends, and there's another one, Radiant Light, another arc one, where you can you can give each other Charged with Light builds. It pays to kind of coordinate with your teammates in this way. So you can like all coordinate your builds and all have Charged with Light mods to give yourself an edge. And let's close out with some of my favorite mods from this suite of Charged with Light mods. I got one of each. I'm just going to focus on the payoff mods, the yellow ones that use the Charged with Light.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite generic one is High Energy Fire. While Charged with Light, gain a bonus to weapon damage. A really nice solar one is this grenade one. If you're going for a grenade build, firepower, whenever you use your grenade, it consumes 1 stack of Charged with Light and gives you back, I think it's about half of your grenade energy.
Oh, nice.
So it cuts down the cooldown in half. My favorite arc is Reactive Pulse. While you're Charged with Light and you're surrounded by enemies and you get damaged, you can emit a burst of damaging arc energy. So if you're getting swarmed with like Thrall or something, then the Reactive Pulse can take them all out.
It reminds me
because it's...
Reminds me of the elemental empowerment that's in Solstice. Like when you build up enough charge, you start emitting that. I think the solar one does that. You just didn't.
Yeah, the solar. Yeah.
Anything that comes near you just dies.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
The Reactive Pulse one, also because it's arc, it has a secondary effect. And its secondary effect is when you do a finisher, it gives you an overshield.
Oh, okay.
But unlike other finisher mods, it doesn't cost any super energy.
Oh, nice. They need to get rid of that penalty. I don't like that. I don't use those mods because I can't stomach losing some of my super, you know?
I hear that. And my favorite Void one, which is a mod I don't have, I'm waiting for it to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for Ada to sell it. Protective Light. While you're Charged with Light, you gain significant damage resistance when your shields are destroyed. When you go down to low health, blinking red bar, it consumes all your stacks of Charged with Light and gives you 50% damage bonus.
Wow.
Damage.
That could be an amazing one in PvP. Very frustrating for the opponent.
Yeah.
Thinking they have you, and then all of a sudden, they don't have you. What is going on? The game's bugged.
Also a game changer in PvE as well for if you're raiding and you're having a hard time staying alive, which we do.
Yeah,
Protective Light might be the one to go with.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I have all these mods, and I never think about using them. Or really delving in and seeing what they do. And then you... Some of them are worth adjusting your playstyle for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if you've got like a build that you want to try, like a grenade heavy build, or you really like Chroma Rush and you want to like amplify your Chroma Rush or something, there's probably a way to tie in these Charged with Light mods to give you a boost.
All right. Thank you so much.
I've never done a Charged with Light build. and I don't plan to.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I got to give it a shot.
Yeah,
I enjoy Charge with Light.
Only doing the taking charge one, but now I'm like interested in like taking a look at some of those others and
play around with them.
You may want to, Miss Chroma Rush over there, you may want to try the solar mod Sustain Charge.
Is Chroma Rush solar? Is it considered solar?
No, that's not how it works.
No, it goes on a solar armor piece.
Oh, a solar armor piece. Gotcha. Yeah, okay.
Where if you rapidly defeat combatants with auto rifles, if you just get a double down with your Chroma Rush, that'll charge you with light.
Wow, easy to do especially in an override or some other multiple enemies around, like Altars of Sorrow or so forth. Fun.
Heck yes.
Fun. Definitely going to give that a go. Thanks, Stego.
Thank you.
My pleasure.